Hey guys, welcome back. This Craftsman Snowblower was in the free pile. Picked it up, and the owner said that it does not start. Has not been used very much. Is about 10 to 12 years old or so, something in that range. Looks about right. And they filled it up with gas, and it will not start. And they said that they do not want it anymore. It's free to anyone who wants it, so picked it up. Figure we take a look at it, see if we can fix it, and if not, figure out why. I say the first thing we do is we plug it in, see how it sounds. Well, maybe check the oil first. Clean. It's clean, and it's up to its full, so we're good there. So let me get a cord, plug it in, turn it over, see how it sounds. Definitely feels like it has compression, so let's see what it does. It's got a crack there. Let's actually almost sounds like it wants to go. Let me give it some choke. Prime it. Choke. Not quite. Almost. Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to check for spark? Just make sure. Alright, so let's get the spark plug out. It is not the winter time right now. It is still summer, but I need the room in my garage. I gotta get this thing out of there. So that's why I'm fixing it now. There won't be any snow to test it, but we can go through all the functions. I'll probably hold this video until the winter time. Anyway, oh, absolutely brand new. Looks like they tried to replace the spark plug to see if they could get it to start. So, all right, see if we have a spark. I actually don't like when people replace the spark plugs because I don't know how the engine has been running. Has it been running rich or lean? I can't tell, you know? It's just brand new. No indication. All right, let's see. I actually don't see any spark. Oh. Well, that'll do it. The throttle is on the stop. It's not going to have spark if I don't give it throttle. Ah, that might help. It's probably hard to see, but it does. It does have excellent spark, so it's not that. Maybe we try and start it again. I don't know if you can see the piston down in there, but I don't know if you can see that, but it is clean. There is no carbon or anything on that piston. It's like brand new. Now let's try it again with partial throttle this time. And choke. Kind of wants to, but oh, that actually smells like really bad gas. So I think we better get into that carburetor. All right, there's a carburetor. To get in there, I mean, I could pull the bowl off and do it right here, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to take it apart so you can see. So those two have to come off. The knob has to come off, and that's all one piece of plastic that goes all the way around to here. So the starter has to come off. That's already loose. Looks like I am not the first to be in here. So, all right, let's get that all removed. Definitely not the first. Somebody cranked this down so tight that it cracked the plastic. And then someone did not even crank that down at all. All right, that's free. Let's get the bolts. Let's get the choke knob I think this muffler cover has to come off too. I actually see someone didn't put this all the way back in here. We're definitely not the first. To get that one, I have to take the belt inspection cover off. I miss the days when there was just 2 bolts to remove a carburetor from a snowblower. Belts look okay. Looks like I'm being held up by this. This has to come off. These are always the hardest. Let me get something to pry with. They don't want to come off. I'll leave them on. That should work. There we go. All right, now, shouldn't you come? What is holding you? There we go. If I just hang this over here like that, that'll work, right? Turn the snowblower around. I think the lighting is better from this angle. But let's see if we can't remove the snow carburetor. All right, remember that goes like that. Yeah, let's. Why don't we drain the fuel out of it with the drain plug on the bowl? All right, let's get a sample out of this. All right, here's our sample. Doesn't look bad. I don't see any water or anything down at the bottom. I know that he put in a fresh batch of gas. I'm wondering, it's got like a full tank, so do we drain the tank, or we just clamp it off and hope for the best? I say, let's just go for it. I'll just clamp that off. Get it a little higher. That. And let's get this fuel line off and this breather line off and get into that carburetor. So this spring will just come out, hook out of, let me get it, needle nose pliers. I love these tiny little needle nose pliers. I can just grab it like that, unhook it, and then this, you just pull it out to that and it just lifts right up. And so now the carburetor is free. Looking good. All right, let's bring it to the bench and see what we got. All right, have a seat at my messy desk. This is it's a Powermore carburetor. I have a video on the detailed clean of one of these carburetors. I'm going to link it to the link in the top right hand corner, and you will be able to click on that and get a very detailed in-depth tutorial of how to clean one of these carburetors. For the sake of this video, I'm going to basically blow through this, and if you want the details, click that link, okay? Yeah, it's got some goo in the bottom. Needle and seat, or needle and seat. This jet doesn't want to come out. It feels like it's going to strip. It's slipping. Let me see if it looks, I don't know, maybe someone has tried to take it out before or has. It also looks like it's fully clogged in there. I'll try one more time to take it out. If not, if I feel like it's going to strip, I'm going to use the welding tip cleaners, wherever those are. Here they are. I'm going to use these to poke it out and leave it be and see how it runs. I think I got it. Yeah, I did. Brought you back. This jet is completely clogged. You should be able to see through the small hole in the center. You cannot, so I'm gonna jam something through there and clean that up. That's the reason why it wouldn't run, and it's all gummy, so that's the only thing of interest. I'll clean this up. There it goes. There, got it through. I'll clean this up and put it all back together and bring you back. The aftermath of what was in the carburetor, and here are all the clean parts aside for the tools. The bowl I spent a while on. It cleaned up okay. There's still crust in it. Not too worried about it. It should be okay. Everything else all clear, all good. I'm just gonna put this back together, then we'll put it back on the blower. Get this carburetor back on and see what she does. Ah, yes. This is on the wrong way, I think. That's better. When you're putting the plastic cover back on, there is a breather hose right in there. You can, it's connected to the valve cover right there, and that goes to a port on the plastic cover, and you kind of have to finagle it on while pushing the cover on. So I'd say that's the only kind of tricky part in the whole thing. Everything else kind of goes together easily. Alright, I say we give it a start and see if it'll run before I finish putting all the rest of this stuff on, just in case we have to go back in there. Alright, what do you think? Yes? No? Maybe? I give it a, I'd say a 75-80% chance of starting. Let's make sure that throttle is, okay, good. Alright. Fire in the hole. I'm happy with that. Oh, well, we saw that the auger and the self-propel worked. I ran it through the gears and it seemed to work. Let's just, for the sake of servicing it, get it up on its bucket and take a look underneath. This is probably going to flood the engine, but it's all right. I might end up draining the gas anyway, and you know, putting a little bit of fresh ethanol-free gas in it and then running it out until the winter. So let's, without further ado, get this cover off. These 10 as well, they are, oops, wrong way. Alright, what do we got in here? It's like gear drive that is pretty dry. The drive disc looks pretty good. So, in case you didn't know how these things work, this rubber, or this is the axle connected to this gear. So this drives this gear here, which then drives this gear, which then drives the wheel. Okay, and when you don't have the self-propel handle down, this disc, or this rubber wheel and this disc, drive disc, are not touching. Okay, when you engage the handle, it pulls this up and makes it touch this rubber drive disc, and so that drives the wheel, and then the speed adjustment moves this back and forth on the axle. So the further out it is, the faster it will drive the wheels, and the closer in it is to the center, the slower it will drive the wheels. You go to the other side, it will drive the wheels backwards. So that's how this drive works. What I am going to do is, this all is looking pretty dry, so I'm going to lube all of this up. I'm going to spray this down, make sure that it's clean and there's no oil on it, because obviously if you get oil on this, you're screwed, because it's just going to slip. So yeah, I'm just going to lube this up so it doesn't rust and it runs freely. Probably some white lithium grease or something like that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brake clean this off. Clean paper towel, no oil or anything like that. And I'm just going to do as much as I can in here and get this as clean as possible. That ought to be good enough. So now I'm going to just take some white lithium grease and move the speed lever all the way over to one side. Grease that up. And if this were rusted, you know, a lot of these are all rusted. You can take a wire wheel to them, so you can just spin the wheels around and take a wire wheel and derust it and then lube it. That works as well. And you don't want much lube on this, right? Because you don't want this flinging off and getting on that drive disc and causing the drive mechanism to slip. That would be the worst thing you could do. So don't do that. It's got to be a very, very thin coat, just enough to make it slide easily and not bind up and not rust. All right, so like that. Let me move it back to the other side. So that's in reverse. You can see how it moved to the other side of the disc. And it will spin the wheels the opposite way when it does that, when it goes over there. I'm going to go around on the gear here, and I'm just going to lube all these teeth and spin it around a bunch. So I'm just going to put a bunch of grease on the teeth and then spin it around, and hopefully they'll all get some grease on them. So again, not much. You don't want much. You don't want this stuff flinging around. I'd say that's good enough. I think we're done under here. as I was explaining to you before the battery died, this thing has bushings in here, and after you're done using it, and it does get a little bit wet in here, and the axle will rust, you know, during the summer or between uses, and when you go to use that again, the rust will grind away the plastic in there. So over time, this axle will become very loose in that bushing, and the whole wheel will just, you know, move up and down, and it will, you know, flop all over the place. So what you can do, you know, you just want to kind of prevent that and lubricate it. And so I'm just going to shoot a little bit of fluid film into that bushing so that it kind of protects. Fluid film is kind of like a, you know, a thin undercoating, rust and corrosion protection. So I'm going to shoot that in there, and that should help extend that bushing's life a little bit longer. So again, like I was saying, you don't want to get any kind of lube on the drive disc, because your transmission's going to stop working. So I'm just gonna, is it fluid film? Yes, it's not the brake clean. Just gonna shoot a little bit. Yeah, maybe I brake clean off this disc after this again. And shoot some in from the other side. Work it in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. The sprocket's kind of in the way, but I'll do the best I can. Shoot it from both sides. The fluid film, it kind of works its way into the into small openings and things like that. So all right, let me wipe some of the excess off. Especially see if I can get some of the excess off inside here, because that is going to get on the drive disc and make the transmission stop working. And now I did it. Got the towel stuck in there. All right. That's pretty good. All right, let me get a new paper towel, and I'm gonna brake clean off this drive disc again, because I'm definitely sure I got some fluid film on that. So bring it back. I got it right side up. We're kind of in the sun now, but let's put this stuff back on it. I don't think we're gonna have to take it apart again. Let's see if it still starts. Choke, partial throttle. Good. We're almost done, but we have a few issues to take care of. One of them is the chute handle. Doesn't actually turn the chute, so it's kind of an issue. And another one is that this is kind of a little wonky. Somebody hit something pretty hard with it and bent this whole, I don't know if you can see that. I'm looking at it straight on, and it bends in at least 2 inches or so. So got to beat that back into submission and fix the chute. So the way this thing works is that this handle, the auger control, or the chute control handle, is attached by this bracket here, and it has a couple of carriage bolts that go through it with a couple nuts on the other side. And I believe, I don't know if you can see, I believe that they're slotted, that it has moved all the way this way. So hopefully I can just loosen those, push this, shove this back, tighten it up, and that should fix that. I think these are 13. Let's see. They feel like nylocks. They actually didn't feel like they were on very tight. Oh yeah, that'll work. Let's see, right about there, maybe? Ooh, yeah, look at that. Chute moves again. Oh, yeah, I got to tighten this up, make sure that stays where it's supposed to. Still wants to come out slightly. Oh, I see why it is. Why is there a paper clip on this thing? That would definitely, that was blocking it. No wonder it forced it out. Forced the it kept hitting, the chute kept hitting that. No wonder it got wonky. There we go. That's good. That's nice. That should work. Alright, what are we going to do about this? It's all sorts of wonky. I have some blocks and a vice grip. Maybe if I can, I was thinking that maybe I can grab it here and just tweak it, you know, force it back. Let's start with that. Let's kind of get the big stuff going first. That's better. There. What about, I think we need a little more tweaking up here. Yeah, a little bit more tweaking up here, maybe. Shims are breaking, but that's okay. Judging from the other side, this is supposed to be straight. That is still not straight, so let's make it straight. Now, is that straight? Straighter. Better. Still kind of going in over here. Too much bounce. I'm just gonna work this. Kind of work the metal back to the form in which I think it was supposed to be. Maybe. It's still bent, but less so than it was. You get the idea. I'm going to work on this for a while. Here's the good side, and here's the beat up side. Still beat up, but it's better than it was. It'll work. It doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line. This is not, we're not putting together, you know, space shuttle or anything. This is just snowblower, so be fine. The last thing I did was adjust the skids. So I adjusted the skids so that they are just slightly proud of the cutting edge. This is going to be used on pavement, so we want the cutting edge to be very close to the ground, but not really like scraping it too hard. You don't want the weight of the snowblower on that. So I adjusted the shoe so it's very slightly proud of that cutting edge, and I kind of angled it up this way, so it's like a ski, you know, so it'll hopefully glide over any like imperfections in the sidewalk or the concrete lines in the sidewalk and things like that. That's the idea. So I did that on both sides. Yeah, that doesn't look very straight, but that's okay. I put the belt cover back on, just slid that in there. Those two screws went in there, and it's all ready to go. What I think I am going to do is I'm going to drain the gas out and put a little bit of ethanol-free gas in there, because there's like 5 months until we get any snow at all, so if we get any snow. So I don't want that, whatever it is in there, sitting in there all, you know, summer and fall. 0 PSI. I'll fill them up to about 15. Oh. Fresh ethanol-free gas in here. Runs like a champ. Well guys, I think that's it for this one. If you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one.